Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. My name is Alex. I am a digital media marketer. If you don't already know, my channel is based around helping people who run a social media marketing agency or are trying to build any business using social media do that through effective strategies, tactics, tips, you name it. Today, we're going to be talking about onboarding and how important that is to the process of having a successful agency and just having successful experiences with your clients. When you're bringing a client on, there's something so crucial about that first interaction that you have with them and that they have with your system that will determine whether or not they truly believe in you and what you can do for them. So making sure that it is as optimized as possible, once again, is crucial to the overall success. I'm going to go ahead and dive into a presentation as well as break down my full onboarding process that I personally use to onboard all of my clients. But without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right into it. Okay, so first, really quickly, let's go into the table of contents of what we're going to be going over. I want this to be as straightforward as possible for you guys, so I tried to make it really simple. First, I just quickly want to cover the importance of onboarding and just let you guys know exactly why you need to have that process built out. And then from there, we're going to go into the setting expectations portion of it, because this is something that I think a lot of people just overlook in the entire process. You see so many people talk about getting clients in, how to sign clients, but they don't tell you how to keep clients. And in a business, it's more impactful to have clients or customers that stay with you long-term and repeatedly buy your service than to constantly be going out and looking for new ones. So we're just going to be covering all of that. And then I'm going to break down the entire system, front to back, how you can use it as well. First things first, the importance of onboarding. And I've touched on this a little bit already, but a good onboarding process sets expectations and increases your retention rate overall. Because again, long-term value is greater than a higher ticket monthly package. So having so many new clients come in, you have all these new people that you're trying to manage, you're having people leave, and then new people come on. It's just a hassle and it will overwhelm you. But having a good experience and actually providing real results to your clients, which is what most people don't talk about, is what will keep them on long term. It is what will allow you to create better testimonials. It will also just allow you to operate with a peace of mind. And another thing, guys, buyer's remorse is so real. Anytime, I'm sure you guys have experienced it as well, when you buy something that is an expensive product or service, you are kind of like, man, I just spent all of that money on this. I hope that it was worth it. So when you're selling a high ticket package and then you sign on a client and there is no communication, there's nothing for however long it is while you're setting things up in the back end and they're left out in the blue, that is so much time and such a big gap for them to feel that buyer's remorse and start to lose that trust with you. So as soon as they send that payment, you want to get them a win. The quickest win that you can get them is having a really, really nice onboarding process. And that all is a part of setting expectations, which is what I'm going to dive into now. Your client needs to understand what to expect so you can operate with the peace of mind, because if you're doing things that the client just doesn't really understand, then there might be certain scenarios that to you are just common sense, but to them, it might make them nervous. For example, if you run an ad agency, you need to explain to your client that ad performance can fluctuate and that you don't need to worry if it does, because otherwise they will likely freak out, be bombarding you with messages, and you just will be overwhelmed. And again, the whole goal with this is to make the system as easy as possible for your client to operate in, but also for you to operate in. You also, honestly, this is a part that I think a lot of people miss out on and don't realize. But if your client isn't doing the work, if your client isn't giving you anything to add to, then you're not going to have any success with your business. Your client needs to do what's required for your system to work. And that's why setting expectations is crucial. Because even, for example, if you multiply anything by 0, you're going to get 0. So you need to make sure that the expectations are there, that they need to put in the work as well. But okay, without further ado, let's dive into the full onboarding system breakdown for you guys. I think you're really going to like this, and I hope that this is communicated as clearly as possible. But if you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment and I will get back to every single one of them. So this is essentially the entire thing broken down as simply as possible. I'm going to dive into each step as mentioned. We're going to go and start with the very top, which is that pre-enrollment payment received. As soon as that payment gets received through Stripe, then we have an automation set up that checks our Stripe database to make sure that that client is a first-time customer and isn't someone that's just renewing their contract or is on a weekly payment plan or monthly payment plan, whatever it is. And if there's no client found, then it goes ahead and sends them the contract to sign on. Once they sign that contract, then it will go and check inside of our ClickUp client database to make sure that this is someone who we haven't worked with before. They're not renewing their contract, they're actually a new client. And then once there is no client found, it adds them as a new client to that database and then sends them that onboarding email plus the form for them to fill out. And then once they fill out that onboarding form, the system will go ahead and create all that they need, all of their assets, their ecosystem in Google Drive, their client portal, their private channel, everything. The automation will go and do this for them. And then from there, it will even send them the welcome email. And inside of that welcome email, it will include an expectations video. So a video where you break down, hey, welcome in. We're so grateful to have you here. This is what you can expect. This is what we're going to be doing for the first 10, 14 days of you being on, just so your client is not left out in the blue. That's the whole goal with this. They need to understand every single move that you're making so that they can build that trust with you, because this is the first time that they've ever worked with you and they're paying you to work with you. And also inside of that welcome email, it'll include the links to all of their assets, whether it be the Google Drive ecosystem, their client portal, the private channel, everything will be in there for them to click into and join. And then from there, they will have access into their client portal, which the system will continue on. Once they get inside of the client portal, then there will be a to-do list, which I'm going to break down. I'm going to show you guys actually a little bit of what the client portal looks like. But when they get in, there's going to be a to-do list for them to complete. And during this time, while they're doing this, what we're going to be doing in the back end is aligning with their brand vision and goals, defining their target audience, determining the content style, getting into any accounts they want us to post on if they're on our Done For You program, identifying any areas for enhancement, whether it be your graphics, your offer, your profile, whatever it is that needs to be improved, we will help you do that. And then do market research on people that are already successful in your niche to see what strategies are working for them. Develop that successful strategy that's unique to you, and then go ahead and create those initial content ideas to implement that. And while all this is being done, like I said, we'll be doing this in the background. You'll be doing your work, and then you'll book that first content workshop call. After the client books their first content workshop call, this is where we'll go through everything that we just discussed here. Everything will get approved. The assets, the strategy will get approved. And then we move into launching. And then once everything gets approved, all we do is launch all of it and then scale to the moon from there. And it's just a rinse and repeat process. And your whole goal from that point forward is being a source and being an educator. Because that's the thing that I have found personally that has allowed me to retain my clients for as long as I possibly can, is just making sure that I'm not only providing them a service, but also answering any questions that they may have and teaching them so they understand what we're doing. Because when you position yourself as a source, then it's not just the service that the person's paying for. They're paying for you. And that's also with sales. There's so many people selling the same exact thing, but what someone is going to buy from this person is not going to be bought from them because they don't relate to that person. So it all goes down to you, and it's all about how you operate. But having the right systems in place is crucial for business success. So this is a really big first step in that. All right, now I promised you guys I would show you a little bit of what our client portal looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. This is essentially what our clients will see as soon as they join in, get access to everything. This is where all the magic happens. I mentioned earlier there's a to-do list for them to complete, and that to-do list just gets us some more details on them. It gets them access to everything. It just confirms that everything's smooth, everything's all good. They understand how to operate within the system, and then they can go ahead and book that workshop call. And then from here, it is just a bunch of resources, a bunch of assets for them to use. And then the rest of the system is a little bit more in depth from there, but I'll save that for another video. I hope that you guys got value out of this. If you did, please drop a comment and let me know. It helps me out so much. It helps these videos get to other people and help them. My goal at the end of the day genuinely is just to help you guys as much as I possibly can. I've been doing this since I was 13 years old, so I absolutely love it. But if there are any questions that you guys have, feel free to also message me on Instagram. I'll leave my Instagram in the description. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one.